Hey, everybody. Hi. I'm Al Ray. I'm a comedian, I expect. I'm originally from Toronto, but I live in Winnipeg. You could say I'm a transplanted Torontonian living in Winnipeg. Transplant was a complete success, although in order to prevent my brain from rejecting Winnipeg, I have to take drugs for the rest of my life. They're a good crowd. I like literary events. I like a smart erudite crowd. I did a show last week in Toronto. I met a couple there, and he was an entomologist, so he could tell you every species of bug and their particular habits and characteristics. And his wife was an entomologist, or an etymologist, and so she could take the names of those bugs, and she could give you their Greek and Latin origins, and they had no friends. I'm a comic, and I'm manic, and I'm depressive. Steve Martin once said, boy, those French, it's like they have a different word for everything. And my favorite French word next to poutine is ennui. Ennui. It's more than being bored with life or the world. It's being bored with how bored you are with life or the world. And it's my favorite state of mind word next to the German word Schadenfreude, which means taking intense pleasure in the misfortunes of others, as opposed to taking intense pleasure in your own misfortune, which is being a Jewish mother. Reminds me of I'm a Scotsman. So this little joke digression is a Scotsman, an Irishman, and a Jewish guy, and they're in a desert, and there's nothing around. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, there's a tavern, and the Scotsman goes in and he says, I'm parched, I'm exhausted, and I'm dehydrated. He says, I must have a scotch. And the Irish guy says, I'm parched, I'm exhausted, I'm dehydrated, so I must have a Guinness. And the Jewish man says, I'm exhausted, parched, and dehydrated, I must have diabetes. A lot of our mood from our cultures. I first came across the word ennui in the Cole Porter song, I Get a Kick Out of You. When I'm out on a quiet spree, fighting vainly that old ennui. And we know that Cole Porter suffered from manic depression, that lovely oxymoronic phrase, quiet spree, so descriptive of a certain type of mania that I really understand. And he doesn't get solace or a rise in self-esteem out of you, just a kick, a temporary lift in mood. And here's the kicker. He gets a kick, though it's clear to see you obviously do not adore me. So he was a masochist, too. It's very difficult to convey, to carry forward to another place, to another person, our state of mind. When we are in a disordered state of mind, we act disturbed, another old French word. And so if you're like me, you sometimes bring the disorder outside of yourself and you disturb the peace by putting on a big show of your feelings. And we call this emoting. We're emotional. And we performers, we're blessed to have a stage or other venue to emote, to have an outlet, to let out these feelings. And I think that's why my manic episodes are less emotive. They're quieter sprees because I have this outlet. Now, you'll hear some say that the words emotion and feeling are interchangeable, but you can tell in a culture who has an outlet to let out their feelings and who doesn't by how emotional they're permitted to get. Women and children have no outlet. Their feelings are ignored. Women don't like war. And the reason is because they don't like feeling grief when they see children dying. But we don't talk about their feelings because generals have feelings too, about the justness and the necessity of these necessary justifications. So we're told women don't hate war because they have very understandable negative feelings about it, but because they are too emotional, or often they are too, that word from the uterus, hysterical. And you'll notice Our enemies are always hysterical and emotional. And yet at the same time, paradoxically, they're seen as cold-blooded and reptilian. And that's a kind of dual state of mind that's impossible. They're not that way, our enemies. We declare them that way. Why? Because we overstate their emotions and deny their feelings. And manic depressives like me deny our feelings, or at some stage have had our feelings denied. So we're all about emoting to show you our state of mind, and we're shitty actors because we're not sure what a lot of the lines we're trying to convey in the script, a script we wrote ourselves, by the way, actually means to us at any given moment. We're bad at understanding our own subtext. So we're too up or we're too down. We're bad actors, fighting vainly the old ennui and looking for that next kick. Distracted, good Middle English, drawn apart. That's depression. Delirium, literally abandoning the plow or leaving the furrow, or instead of furrowing, describing a crooked and wonky path. That's mania. And Cole Porter was a masochist too, because he got a kick out of his lovebird who did not return the feeling. The masochist said, "Beat me," and the sadist said, "No." And stand-up comics like me are masochists because our kick, that attention from you, doesn't come as a comedian at the end of the play or the end of the book or the end of the song. We want continued vocal approval in laughter every 20, every 30 seconds. Stand-up comedy is the crack cocaine of performing. Instant, instant, instant. And then we go to the bar. We drink. My drinking got so bad at one point, my liver considered suing me for divorce. But we decided to stick together for the sake of the kidneys. See, it's clever because it's a book fair. And then we go to the bar, we go to the party, or we take to the internet with our mania, where the show goes on 24/7 through unending status update. Status update. I'll give you one solid piece of advice to take with you today. The only thing you ever need to type into a status update, 3 words, still a narcissist. But enough about me, he joked. I don't know if I gave you any insight into my state of mind, but I hope you don't think I'm too crazy. Thank you very much. Thank you.